Well, hello everybody. Larry the Pen Bug Guy here. Welcome back to Larry's Fountain Pens. I had a slight delay, computer problems. The computer just totally shut down. I had to get some repairs done to it, so back in action again. So we're going to do some vintage today. Yes, vintage. I'm not big on vintage pens. Why is that? Well, I don't want to have to go to all the trouble and buy the parts I need, the bag, the levers, whatever it is to repair the pen. I guess that's one of the reasons. Kind of lazy on my part, but that's me. We all roll different. But I do like vintage pens, and they can be quite pricey depending what you buy. Well, today's vintage pen, let me tell a little bit about it. Before I get there, I want to show you a pen pouch. Brand new. This is from the Pen Thing store. Beautiful. And it's done by Rick Shaw. Designed these and put them all together. Really nice. On the inside, it's really nice, fluffy kind of material, which I'll show you some more in a minute. But if you go to the Pen Thing store, email Brian, he can fill you in on the colors of the pen pouches, pen bags that are going to be coming out. Pen pouch, pen bag, however you want to call it. I know they're going to cost $15. And the one right now that I'm looking at on this site, I believe is black with a kind of a light blue lettering. Really good looking pen pouch. Really nice. So here it is right here. Brian sent this to me. Thank you, Brian. And I really do like it. I've been using it now for a few days. And here's the pen that I will be reviewing. It is the Diplomat Classic. Here's the information I got on this fountain pen. And I've been doing a lot of searching to get more information, but I haven't as of yet gathered any more info than what I can relate to you guys right now. So it's the seller bought this at an estate sale. And the gentleman was an elderly man around 88 years old. And he had this pen sitting in his closet on the shelf. And I'll show you what it came in real quick. Here's the box. And the box shows some wear on the side. And then it has some number as well. And when you open it up, the pen came just like this. I don't lose everything. There. Really nice presentation. Diplomat Classic. Really nice. And this is a velour bed. It lays in securely. So, you know, I was really happy to see that. How it first started was, it's supposed to be black, the pen. But after the seller went to ship it, he noticed that it wasn't. It was a dark, rich blue, which I wanted even more. Black, I've got a lot of black ones. So, you know, this is my favorite color, and this is what I really wanted. So, bang, I lucked in. It's a metal pen, weighs about 45.9 Gs. And the kind of pen I like, right here. This fits me right up my alley. Beautiful blue polished lacquer with gold trim. So this pen, what I could find out, is between 80s and 90s. Diplomat is on the band, and it is very pronounced, printed in the band, and it has West Germany on it. Beautiful job on the inlay on that. Can you see that? Let's see. See if you can focus that in. And there's the clip, and the clip is functional. It will do the job to keep your pen in place in your pocket. When you go to the top of the pen on the cap, the finial, it's kind of a raised off the cap, and go down the barrel, and the kind of thins out at the bottom of the barrel. But a beautiful fountain pen, to say the least. I like it. It really is a beauty of a pen. So I'm glad I won this in an auction. Pull off cap, and it does post. And you go down the barrel. There's not much of a step down, just a hair, with another gold band here, and another thin gold band here, and then another band as well at the end of the grip. Two-tone medium nib, and it does have the markings on it, Diplomat with an M. And it came with a converter, and it's green. So I was real pleased with it. So back to the pen thing store. This pen fits fine in it. The Karas Custom XL Starline fits fine in it. The only pens that will not fit in this pen pouch would be the oversized big pens like the Rosetta. And I believe that's what, Coronado. So, but you know, other than that, other pens that are slimmer, not as bulky and huge, will fit just fine. And if you could look inside, kind of that white, soft, furry kind of material on the inside, really nice on the inside. They did Rick Shaw did a real good job on this pen pouch here. The sleeve is really a nice one to carry around. I just can't say enough. I'm totally impressed with it. So I think I will buy another one of a different color that Brian has at the store. I really like it. So thanks, Brian. That's the pen thing. Would you like to give the website?
I believe that is thepinthing.com.
There you go. Right there. So, we're going to do some writing with this pen. So let's get to some writing. Okay? All right. Nice, smooth nib. I'm totally impressed with this pen. It's just, it fits really well in my hand. And it's got the weight that I like. But it's not overly heavy. And we'll do some upside down. And you do get some different line variation to a fine. It's really nice. And we'll get some wetness here. Nice wet nib. And the ink I'm using today is a Waterman Serenity Blue. Really nice ink. And I will show some different pens for pen comparison. Here are some other Diplomat soft touch right here. Making this Diplomat Classic, of course, more girth, larger. What's different about it, on the finial on top, it doesn't have Diplomat Germany. These pens do. So I'm not sure if back in the 80s or 90s on this pen they didn't put the logo on top of the cap, but it is on this beautiful band. Clearly states it is a Diplomat Classic. So here are the other two Diplomats I have. But I like this Diplomat so well that I'm looking at some other vintage ones at the moment. So let me compare with some other pens. Here is the Noodler's Conrad, about the same size. And the Karas Custom ink. So there you go with some size comparisons. And just for the heck of it, I'm going to put out the
Lingmo.
As Mr. Announcer hands me the pen. And that's what it all kind of put it all together, and this is what it looks like. But this is a beautiful fountain pen. It is a beauty of a fountain pen, and it writes extremely well. And I really do think that these pen thing pouch are really sharp looking, and for 15 bucks, great price. So yeah, I'll be getting another one. Different color, but this is a nice color. I like the white and black. I like how it shows rickshaw, and I like the way the pen thing, the presentation of the name, how it was put on the pen pouch. Looks really sharp looking little pen pouch. So let me show you the nib once again, if we can get a closer look at that. It really is a nice nib. Brand new fountain pen. Never ever been used. Just sitting on the gentleman's shelf in the closet. Now, can you just imagine having this pen or any pen sitting in your closet for God knows how long? If it was in the 80s or 80s, 80, 90, 90, 2010, what, 48 years? If it was put out in the 80s, if it was put out in the 90s, what, 38 years? It's a long time just sitting there in the closet on the shelf. Maybe the gentleman forgot all about it, or maybe he just never got around to it. But you know, if these vintage pens could just talk and take you back to where they came from, how they were used, when they were used. If you could just have a conversation with a vintage pen, this is how I read them. They could tell you so much. You know, vintage pens are, and don't get me wrong, I love the new ones, but vintage pens, they're in a league of their own. They're the guys and gals that started the foundation for fountain pens, and they did such a great job. Later, I will be reviewing the Wherever fountain pen. This is a old one. I think this one dates back to the 60s. So, this will be coming up. And I have some other vintage pens that I'm waiting to get in. So, yeah, I'm taking a dip into the vintage world. How deep will I go? I don't know. When I look for a vintage pen, I want it where where it's affordable for me, that has been restored. If not, and I purchase one, then I would have to buy either the sack, a lever, whatever it may need to get it back in writing condition. And for me, I just don't want to go through all that. There's other folks that like doing that, and that's cool. But, I would just, if I bought one at a great price, I would probably just send it to somebody and let them put a bag or a lever or whatever it may need to get it ready to meet the new world again. So this is the Diplomat, the vintage Diplomat Classic fountain pen. Metal, beautiful high polish, lacquer, gold trim, medium two-tone nib, a very nice smooth nib. Came with a converter that's been sitting in this gentleman's closet for decades. Before I go, let me give you the dimensions on this pen. The length of the pen cap is 5.68 inches. Posted like you see it now is 6.11 inches. And I'll just do a little bit more writing because this is just a cool pen, a cool vintage Diplomat Classic. And Mr. Announcer will read today's quote before I get to writing.
Today's quote says, "What saves a man is to take a step, then another step," from Antoine de Saint-Exupéry.
And that's the Mont Blanc fountain pen that they did that tribute to that person. So, let me set this aside. And that is today's quote. Well, that'll wrap this one up. I hope you enjoyed the review on this vintage Diplomat Classic. If I find any more information on this fountain pen, I will give an update on it for sure. Thank you all for joining me today. I hope today is going well for you. Been a busy day for me, but that's a good thing. God bless. Take care, my friends. Until my next video, don't text and
drive.
See you guys later. All right. To clarify things up here, I just heard from Brian, and he has the pen pouches in stock. They're $15, and they come in two sizes to accommodate the large and small pens. So, that's a plus. I think my next one would probably be a large, because I do have some large pens. So, check out the Pen Thing store. Go to Brian's website, and there's a number there as well if you need to give him a buzz. Do that, or email him, however you want to get a hold of him. But, hey, back to school, work, just in time, right? Plus, Brian has some other cool stuff. He has notebooks, pens, inks. You just need to take a journey at the Pen Thing store and see all the delicious goodies Brian keeps. You know, it wouldn't do me any good to work at a pen store, would it, Mr. Announcer?
No.
I'd go ape. I love fountain pens, inks, paper, pen cases, pen pouches, pen bags, notebooks, tablets, roller balls. I guess if I was reborn again, I'd probably come back as a fountain pen or a paper or ink or something. All right, folks. On with the journey.